We're in staying with tradition here at Rainbow Farm, with all the many wonderful traditions that we've originated here. We started up another one at this past Hemp Aid with Steve Hager from High Times. He came out and did our sunset gig for us. And now here we are again at Rainbow Farm and another big weekend of Roach Roast 99. And the sun's pretty much setting again, so I think it only appropriate that we give Mr. Steve Hager some time to do his sunset ceremony with us again.
We want to first say that we want to invite all of the mothers with small children to come up front, because we like to get the kids involved in the ceremony, because this is really about handing the peace culture that's been developed for the last 20 years down to our children, because it's really desperately needed right now. We want to invite everybody who wants to participate in the ceremony to come forward to the front of the stage. We'll do a little circle. Feel free to sit back in the back and just hang with us telepathically if you don't want to come up here. If you're really toasted drunk, or you don't want it to be videotaped, then don't come up here, because alcohol, if you're too inebriated, can actually interfere with this kind of ceremony. I think that alcohol is really the sacrament of the warrior culture, which is the reason we have a lot of violence in our society. And cannabis is our sacrament. That's the peace sacrament. And it's important that we be responsible, and we tell children that, we don't want you to drive cars, we don't want you to own firearms, and we don't want you to use cannabis until you're an adult. And this ceremony is about showing the world that we are a real culture, because the drug war is really ethnic cleansing on hippie culture, whatever you want to call it, the peace tribe, hippie culture. The fact is, it's been going on for 10,000 years. It's basically us versus them. They believe in guns and violence and prejudice and hate, and we say we don't want any of that stuff. And the real thing about this culture is we're all accepted. We don't turn you away at the door if you don't look right, or you don't have the right haircut, or you don't have enough money, or you don't have the right religion. It's all about saying that we can all live together and do ceremonies together, and it doesn't matter what our religion is, because fundamentally that's all the same. And so what we want to do is, the people that want to document that we do care about our religious culture, we want you to just form a little circle right here in front of the stage right now. We're going to do a little meditation. This is what I call a little hippie magic, too. The people that want to participate in this are going to find that you really can open up the vibrations, and you can conjure whatever you want to conjure. So if you want to go to a football game and get drunk and conjure up hate and violence and anger, well, that's what those ceremonies do. But if you want to come here and you want to actually live in peace with other people, and you want to settle down yourself, if you want to find your center, well, we can do that together better than we can do it alone. And when we all get together, the real Bible is written in our hearts, and we can feel it together, and we can feed compassion and love energy to ourselves. And this is the greatest healing thing there is to share this compassion and love with each other. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little circle here, and we're going to try and conjure up some good vibes for this whole camp. I really got into doing these ceremonies after I went to a National Rainbow Gathering, because even though I went to Woodstock, I've been, I guess you call me a hippie all my life, I kind of fell out of step with the culture for a long time, because we really don't have any place to get together and share this culture. And it's sanctuaries like this, like Rainbow Farm, where we have an opportunity to learn we don't have to go back and learn the same things they learned in the 60s all over again. We learned a few things about how to help each other. And it's mostly just about putting out good vibes to each other. And it's all telepathic. And nobody's enlightened all the time. And nobody's angry and hostile all the time. You're going to move in and out of these states for the rest of your life. But you can work on these states so that you're happy most of the time and you're depressed and angry as little as possible. And one way that you can do that, elevate your consciousness to a higher level of happiness, is by forming a circle, holding hands, having a moment of quiet meditation, and praying for world peace and saying, hey, we all love each other and we want to live together with no violence. So if you want to share that kind of energy, just come up to the front right now. We'll start the circle. I think it's good people are sitting down. That's a good idea. Let's start the circle sitting down. This is improvisational, ritualistic theater. It means that you already know what you want to do. You've been doing this for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. You don't need a pope to come up here and tell you how to do your ceremonies. You instinctively are doing your ceremonies all through your lives right now. But there's a few little tricks that we learned in the 60s, and one of the most important ones is to make a circle. And the Indians would call that a medicine wheel. And you know what? You have to be connected. The circle has to be totally connected, and then the energy can flow around the circle. And you'll see you can actually blast yourself off much higher than you can get on drugs, just by pumping compassion and love to each other. All right, so we have the meditation team here. I'd like all of you to hold hands in the circle here. Is the wireless working? Check, check. Okay. Everybody just close their eyes. Just want to close our eyes here. We want to find a quiet moment. If other people want to join in, what we want you to do now is start another circle around this circle. So just sit behind the people and hold their hands. Okay, everybody just close their eyes. I want you to think about growing some roots. We have to have a complete circle. That means everybody holding hands. And you're just going to have to let the dog go. Just let him go, whatever he wants to do. Really, this is about peace and freedom. We're not going to fight his instincts, whatever he's got to do right now. Everybody's got to be connected. Now we're going to close our eyes. Are we all holding hands, or is there a gap right there between two people I see? Little sister, can you hold hands? Thank you. Okay. And just let the baby go. Let him run into the center if he wants to. Let him say whatever he wants. He's an important part of this event, and we respect his voice. We want to hear the baby's voice. So if everybody just close their eyes and imagine you're growing tentacles right down into the center of Mother Earth. See if you can shoot your vibes, because this is your mother. You're sitting on your mother. And then when you feel like you got some roots down into the mother, then I want you to shoot some tentacles out of the top of your head up into the cosmos. And try and connect, because we're all connected. We're stardust. We come from up there. And we were born here from the mother. We want to reach out to the world. We want to feel all our connections. Then we just want to have just about 30 seconds of total silence. Nobody speak for about 30 seconds. And during that 30 seconds, I think it's good if we think about all the people in jail and all the sick people who have been harassed and all the people who have been run through the system and put in jail and all of the terrible, terrible harassment and persecution our culture has taken, because we need a purification in order to dispel all of this terror that has been, brought on us by this evil force that wants to exterminate the most valuable plant on the earth. So Let's have just a moment of silence to think about the way things should be on this planet. Okay, now I want you to take this energy that you've collected in your heart, this acceptance and love for each other, the fact that we don't care about what our religions are, we don't care about our sexual persuasions, we don't care about our looks, we don't care about anything. We do accept and love each other, and I want the meditation team to pump that energy of love through the circle into each other's hearts. And I want you to open up your heart chakra with your brothers and sisters here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take some deep breaths. Take 3 deep breaths. And when you breathe in the good vibe. And when you breathe it out, let it all out. And breathe out the negative vibe. Just expel the negative vibe and the anger and the hostility, and know that we don't have to go to those places. And when you breathe in ecstasy and happiness, and then breathe out. And then on the count of 3, we're going to chant, "We love you." 1, 2, 3. Okay, everybody stand up quietly now. Keep your hands together. Let's stand up. Okay, raise your hands high in the air. Let out a big shout and cheer.
Let's hear a big Rainbow Farm round of applause for Mr. Steve Hager, editor of High Times. What an asset to have here, huh?